Welcome back to the Boondocks Homestead. Hey, if y'all like pumpkin, you don't want to miss this one. Hey y'all, if you like pumpkin, you're gonna like this one. I know I've done quite a few pumpkin ones, or a few pumpkin recipes, and we didn't even grow pumpkins this year. And I wish we would have, really, but I've been buying it from the store, the 100% pure pumpkin. So we're going to make this recipe out of this. It takes a very few ingredients, so it's very easy to make, and it is so good. So we're going to start out with, I grab a pan. Now, I use this Teflon for stuff like this because I don't want it to stick and I don't want to burn it, because we're going to have to cook this for about 20 minutes, okay? So I did get a Teflon pan, and I always look it over, make sure there's no scratches or where it's sloughed off or anything, because that's when they can be really dangerous to you. So just always look your pan over real good, and if you got any scratches or nicks or anything, get rid of it, get you a different one. But anyways, or you can just use your cast iron if you want, but you're going to have to be careful because it could stick, okay? So we're going to start out with a can of 15-ounce pure pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie mix or nothing like that. It needs to be pure pumpkin. Now, if you want to use regular pumpkin out of your garden, or just, you bought it from the farmer's market, whatever, you can do that too and make your own puree, okay? But I don't have any, so I didn't make any. So anyways, we're going to put this in here. Uses a whole can. This is the smaller can, the 15-ounce. And it takes a half a cup of apple juice. You can use apple cider if you want to use apple cider, if you've got some on hand. But again, I use what I have, guys, because I don't buy apple cider. I just don't. I don't drink it. Now, I make my own apple cider vinegar, but that's different. But I don't have my own apple cider, and I don't. It's kind of expensive to buy. I bought some one time, and it was a big old thing of it, but it was like $8. I used enough for my recipe, and the rest of it went to waste. And you guys are probably like, you don't waste, and I usually don't waste, but it's not something I acquired a good taste for, so I don't drink it. I don't just sit around and drink it, okay? So I'm going to put a half a cup of apple juice in here, and it's going to work just fine. And then you're going to get a 2/3 cup of brown sugar, packed brown sugar. Now, and I put my salt in here with my spices. Now you can use, I'll put the other things that you can use. You can use clove and what's the other one? I forgot. And nutmeg. And I told you we're not nutmeg fans. So I use pumpkin pie spice on a lot of my stuff. So I put a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice in here, and I also put 1/8 of a teaspoon of my Redmond real salt in here. Okay. And I also put a teaspoon of cinnamon in here along with that pumpkin pie spice. Okay. So, but I'll put the other things that if you want to do the different spices. Allspice was one of them. And I just think that, all that stuff is in pumpkin pie spice. So why not just make it easier and use that? That's just me. Okay. And I'm going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla. No, it's a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. Now, that's all. That's it. That's all your ingredients for your pumpkin pie butter. And then I'm going to get or pumpkin pie butter. Your pumpkin butter. I was talking about the pumpkin pie spices. It's so hot right now in my house. Even though it's only 40 degrees outside, it's hot in here because I've got my stove pulled out because I have it on self-clean because I'm trying to clean it. It needed a cleaning. So I'm kind of crowded here and I'm hot, but I got the fan on. Okay, now I'm going to bring you up here and show you what this looks like after it's going to be so good, you guys. All right. Here is the color of it. Isn't that pretty? That is just such a pretty color. And then I'm going to just put this on the stove and I'm going to turn it on. Let me get you back up here where I can talk to you. Anyway, I'm going to put this on the stove. I'm going to bring it to a boil. and then it's going to spit and spatter, you know, because it's thick. And so I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to immediately turn it down to medium heat, and I'm going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to let it cook for about 20 minutes until it gets pretty thick. It's kind of thick, but you want it a little thicker than that because you're going to be spreading it on toast or bagels or English muffins or whatever else, right? So we'll do that, and you don't want to take off and list. It's something you don't want to take off and leave, okay? You want to stick with it and stir it occasionally because you don't want it to stick. All right, you guys, I wanted to get you down here and show you the consistency of this. When you can take your spatula or spoon or whatever, wooden spoon, whatever you got, and you can push that away in the middle just like that, and that stays on each side, kind of like the Red Sea. You know it's done, okay? So see, that's not falling back over hardly at all. So that's done, and look at that rich color. Isn't that beautiful? That's gonna taste so good. Okay, I'm gonna get my toast ready and I'll be right back. All right, guys, here we go. Got it all finished. It took about 20 to 25 minutes to sit there and get thick like that and get that real pretty color. Okay, so after it's cooled off a bit, you want to put it in your jar. You can put it in a mason jar. I would suggest glass that you put it in, but you could put it in whatever you got. Okay, use what you got. So I'm just going to put this in here like this. And you all seen how thick and pretty that was. And it's going to hold every bit of this too. Okay, there it is. Isn't that pretty? Now I know I've done quite a few of these pumpkin recipes, but it's pumpkin season and I love pumpkin at this time of the year, and I'm sure there's a lot of you all that do out there too. Now I toasted me a piece of toast, a piece of my homemade bread. I'm going to put some of this pumpkin butter on here, and I'm going to taste it for y'all. Okay? It's still a little bit hot. There's steam coming off of it. I don't want to burn my mouth. If you guys like pumpkin, you've got to try this. If you like apple butter, you got to try this. Pear butter, peach butter. It's just like it. Now, with that being said, they say not to can this pumpkin butter. If you're going to can pumpkin, can it in chunks. Now, I know there's some people that say they go ahead and do it, and they're okay, but a lot of people suggest not to do it because of the thickness. Now, I don't know why this isn't this way with all of them, but I don't know. I guess because you're only doing it for 10 minutes in a water bath, then it doesn't, it could still have those, bacteria and stuff could grow in it, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't know. But anyway, we don't eat this all the time. Okay. So this is plenty for me, and I can keep it in the refrigerator. You can freeze this for up to 3 months, and you can keep it in your refrigerator for up to 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. Or however long it is good. You smell it, you taste it, use your senses, smell it, look at it. If it looks good, smells good, then taste it. If it tastes, you're good. Okay? This is really good. So you all try some of this pumpkin butter. It's good. And stick around. I'm going to be putting on I'm getting ready to make a sweet potato pie. I'm trying to think of things that'll help you guys out for Thanksgiving. If you don't, you're kind of like, oh, I don't know what I'm fix this year. There you have it. There's your pumpkin butter. And then I'm just going to seal this. I'm going to let this cool off a little bit before I put the lid on it. I'm going to seal it up. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and it'll be good to go. All right. Y'all have a blessed day, blessed weekend, or blessed week. And Lord willing, I will see you on the next video. Bye.